Welcome back from the break, viewers. I am still talking to Akosua Atuah about Outburst, the things we don't see. Akosua, sorry, in the course of the break, I just, flipped over the book and I realized that, wow, you have some pretty heavy weights endorsing the book. I mean, Audrey Gajeko.
I do.
Ken and Angelo, like all the names are huge. How did you manage that? Just tell me, please.
Well, you just have to be a great writer, I think.
I
think that's just what it is.
You need to do a little more than be a great writer.
You just have to be a great writer. You just have to send them, just ask them what they think, send them your work and voila. That's pretty much it.
It's one of those things I need to bribe you about.
Yeah, I think you have to see me in Chambers.
I will see you in Chambers. But they say great things about the book. For instance, Audrey Gajeko says, Akosua's brilliant volume of poems echoes the despair and hope of thousands of young people silently struggling to make sense of the stark realities of life. That's something.
Yeah.
That's really something.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's get into the book.
Let's get into the book. I hope this isn't a trap,
Not at all. Let's get into the book. I want us to talk about your use of words.
Oh Lord.
Yes. Let's talk about your use of words. I like the style. It's unburdened. It's simple. It's straight. It's easy. Did you feel at any point that because you're writing poetry, you had to rhyme, for instance? Because I see you don't bother with that.
If you look at the copyright page, you'll see that one of my editors is Michael Jokpata. He was my literature teacher in high school for sixth form, and when he was editing the poems, one of the things that he asked me was, "What is this?" He said this is different.
Very.
Yeah, but one of the things that he also told me was that I should just write. And so I never really thought that I had to write I had to use the old way of writing. I honestly just wrote, which is why I say in my summary that this is my beating heart in your hands. Yeah, it's right from my heart.
Okay. Akosua, please move with me to page 77.
Oh, Lord.
Let's go to page 7. I mean, this particular poem interests me. I want you to tell me about this one.
Okay. Okay.
It has this beautiful lady in a chair, I like her pose. Very seductive, very interesting, very lovely.
My brother helped me pick out that picture, actually.
Oh, of course Jonathan. Your brother helped you pick that out. My brother would pick out the same picture. Yeah, so tell me about this, because not to give too much away, but basically it's about a friend, so it's you talking about all the experiences of this friend, her issues with alcohol and, how she chooses to deal with raging demons and all of that. And the ending, I did not expect the ending. That was not expected. So tell me about this particular poem.
I think I wrote this poem, I think third year, right before third year, during summer. And I had a friend, not mentioning any names.
Not mentioning any names?
Well, maybe this friend was imaginary, we don't know, actually. But I had a friend, whether imaginary or real, I had a friend. And they would turn to alcohol when they had an issue, instead of speaking to someone or seeking professional help. And I spoke to them, I watched them, I dreamt about them, I watched spoken word about other friends like that, and then I wrote Ethanol. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Now, Akosua, please move with me to page 88. Backyard love. I found the topic interesting, backyard love. And from the beginning, can I, talk about your love growing flowers, where there are flaws, and pouring your love in, dark places and empty fields and things like that. But then here, I will send my love where it is welcome and take it when it is no longer required. I find a bit of contradiction. You know, I mean, if you are prepared to send your love to dark places, and you take your love, you make it your flowers. You know, you turn your love into flowers where there's flaws and all of that. And then now you are saying, I will take my love, you know, where it is wanted. And for me, I mean, help me understand it.
I mean, I feel like love is a very funny thing. And I wrote this for all the people that have been through heartbreak. You know, that's very difficult. It's a very painful thing. This is writing from experience, obviously, and that's of my friends. I think that when love is welcome, when your love is welcome, you can tell, and you can also send love from afar, or, you know, when you're near someone. But I think that what people forget is that, you know, at the end of the day, your love is your love, and it has to be good enough for you, you know. And if someone doesn't want your love, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to keep it for yourself, you know, and bathe yourself in it, you know. I think that when people are in relationships or when they're in love with someone, sometimes they tend to forget about themselves.
True.
You know, especially when the other person in the relationship is always thinking about themselves, and the relationship becomes one-sided. You know, I think that it's important to remind people that, you know, they have control over, you know, who they love and, you know, who they care for, and you have to love yourself.
Akosua, you write a lot about love.
I do.
You write a lot about love. What is it with you and love?
I just think that love is a beautiful thing. I have a lot of love from my family, and I think love makes everything better.
I agree with you. I think love makes humanity go around.
Exactly.
If there's anything like that.
Exactly.
But then, you see, then, again, for me, correct me.
Okay.
I find that to be a little contradicting with the you know, because Outburst. I'm not expecting... Well, I think you answered me. You know, you were like, you don't want the cover to give away so much about what's in there. Okay, so let's scrap that question. Let's talk about, now the book is written. What next? And I'm asking all these questions for the viewer who also has an interest in writing, or who perhaps has also written a book and wants to know what to do with it. Because we have notebooks. I do. I have piles of notebooks of written work, and sometimes you're just wondering, what do I do with this now that it's written? Help us, Akosua. What did you do once it was written?
Well, when it was written, when I finished, I had finished my job. Well, my support system kept screaming that, you know, you've finished what you're supposed to do. So then, obviously, if you want to publish, it would go through editing, but it would go through publishing and, you know, the extra works and whatnot. But you said for people that want to write or want to publish, right? Is that the question?
Yes. For, you know, young writers who also have, you know, this dream of publishing what they've written.
I mean, I definitely think that every writer has the fear of, is it good enough? Are people going to be able to relate? Am I, you know... my advice to young writers or writers in general is be honest. You can't get that anywhere. Like, I think that's what will make your book unique, that it's coming right from either your mind or from your heart. And, you know, once you finish writing, you've done your part. You know, you just have to let it out into the world. And if you believe that it's going to change the world for the better, that's enough.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so who published?
Well, I self-published through Hillcrest Media.
Okay.
So I pretty much had to do everything myself, but it was an amazing experience. There was a lot of tears and screaming and...
When you say you had to do everything, what's in there? What's everything?
Well, I had to... well, you know, if you're publishing through like a publishing company, it's different. They would pretty much deal with everything for you, i.e. the cover of your book, you know, what goes, you know, funds and everything. I did everything myself, meaning I funded my own book. I made sure I liked my cover, how the design of the book, how the poems were put on each page, page numbers, everything basically. I did everything.
How expensive was it? You realized my tone was very low when I asked the question.
Well, I'll tell you that if you want to publish and you are self-publishing, close your eyes. That's what I'll tell you. Close your eyes and just try as hard as you can to just publish. Don't really look at the
I need to do more than that. You have to give us a little more than that. You know, we need figures here. Close your eyes. That's good advice. But
it was expensive to self-publish. I will say that. It was expensive. But I think that my message is more important than, you know, the price I spent.
And do you think that you would recoup the money that went into...
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Let's talk about the reading culture in Ghana, for instance. Do people ask you for the book?
Yes.
Do you have them in stores and things like that? Do people come up to you, you know?
Well, the goal now is, because I'm leaving soon, so my plan is to get a few bookstores. I don't have as many left because I printed a number, particular set. So the goal is to look for a few shops, but you can get it at TIS, my old school, because I went there right now. And you can get it at my dad's office, Lifeforms in Laboni. I'm going to look at a few bookstores and hopefully they'll pick it up. But you can always order on Amazon. It's on Amazon. There are a few other stores that I'm not exactly sure if they're there yet. But yeah, definitely Amazon.
I asked the question. I think I glozed over the question myself. I want to talk about the reading culture in Ghana. Do you think that we read enough?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
I mean, I think that it's just not something that we're not interested, I wouldn't say that, but well, I would say for my friends, we love reading. I think that if you love reading, I think it's something that, let's say, you would get from like childhood. Like, you know, if you started reading when you were young, or if you had a passion for books, then I guess you would start reading and then, you know, continue. But it's not something that, you know, it's not a thing, I would say, which is what I'm also trying to change. You know, I believe that, you know.
How do you hope to do that?
Well, you know, if you see the book, you want to open it and see, oh, what's in there.
How about reading clubs? How about, you know?
Well, my plan is, well, I think people think that, like, all the money comes to me.
But it doesn't?
No, not necessarily. I wouldn't say that. I mean, it does come to me, but the plan is to start a publishing house for young creatives, you know, and writers that want to start writing. That's the goal. I plan on, you know, starting on that soon. I'm having a bit of a difficulty with the name, but yeah, that's the goal. You know, just to increase, you know, reading and writing. I think it's very important, especially for us, because I feel like we have a lot to say.
You have a lot to say.
Yeah.
But how are you promoting your book, for instance? Because you know that elsewhere you have sign-ins and things like that. How are you promoting Outburst?
I would say I have not as large, but I have a large social media. I have a number of followers that are very interested through Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You know, it gets out there. It's not as strong as I would like for it to be, but you have to start from somewhere. You know, I'm hoping that when I eventually get my book into bookstores and stuff, you know, and people continue to create buzz, and I as well, you know, I will get the buzz that I deserve. I
realized you didn't like us digging too much into the book. You don't want to give it all away.
Oh, no, I don't mind at all.
You don't mind? Okay, then please, Akosua, let's get back into the book. What's your favorite poem?
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I'm putting you on the spot.
You know, asking a writer
or
asking a writer what their favorite poem is like
asking him to choose between his children. I know.
This is a really tough one. I would say Celtic definition.
Okay, that's on page.
That is on page. I don't really know.
I'll help you.
I think one something. I'm not really sure.
Something. 65.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Why?
This is the only one that I'll give away. This poem is about my mom.
Oh.
Yeah. Her name was Bigot, and the Celtic definition of that name is strength. So this is basically about her. If you read it, you will understand pretty much everything there is to understand about that woman. It's my favorite because it taught me basically about strength and resilience. You know, I feel like life can knock you down, but you know, you decide whether or not you want to stand, get back up, and you know, continue. You know, I think that's pretty much what Celtic definition is about. Yeah.
So here we are using strength to represent something. So strength here is a representation of your mom. Oh wow. Okay, now I understand the poem a little better than the first time I read it. Okay.
You know, you have to make your own interpretations. You know?
Wow. I will make my own interpretation and own it, but I like your interpretation too. Okay, I've asked you this before, but for instance, if I read strength, you know, what do you want me to take away, you know, from reading strength? What should I take away with me from reading strength?
I think that after reading that, I think you should take away the fact that, you know, even though someone may be strong, you know, there's always a breaking point. And, you know, if like they label you as a strong woman or a strong man, and, you know, maybe something knocks you down in life or a situation knocks you down in life, it doesn't take away from the strength. You know, you're still strong, you know, you're still resilient. It just means that you're currently resting. You'll be back. You know, you're on a commercial break. You get what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Exactly.
Because you have a lot of pictures in the book.
I do.
Why?
I think some of the poems were better off with pictures, I feel like. And also I was trying to get as many creatives in my generation out as possible. So you'll see that the photographs were taken by Nigel and Ohema Oforiatta.
These are photographers?
They're my age, but I guess we can call them, they're photographers. Definitely.
Okay. But you said your brother chose some of the pictures.
Yeah, because I mean, they took for every IE scene, there were multiple shots, different poses, and if I wasn't sure about a particular picture or particular pictures to go with a particular poem, I would ask him, "What do you think?" And we kept going back and forth, but in the end,
I love this Queens. I love the candle. That you know, I think it goes with the message. You know, you're talking about mothers and the sacrifices that they make that go so unnoticed, and I think it's so apt to use. First of all, I love candles, and so anything that has candles in it, I'm all for it. But I love the the title you give to that one too.
Thank you.
Queens and all of that. So Akosua, you've already told us where to get the book, and you've told us, you know, how to get copies and all of that. Now you're selling it for what, $20?
Yeah, $20
and 50 cents.
And 50 cents.
Are people buying?
Yes.
People are buying the book.
People are buying.
Oh, great. Well, yeah. So then this is something somebody can do, and I'm asking you this question because you are so young. Pardon me sounding like a big sister, but you know, you're 21, and this is something somebody can get into full time. It pays, does it?
Well, I just started, so I wouldn't be the right person to ask. But I would say that if you're, have, like my dad would say, have a backup plan. You know, you want to have something that you can fall onto. Because if I went to my dad and I said, "Daddy, I think I'm just going to be a writer full time," that wouldn't work. So just have something, if it's a business degree or whatever it is that you know will pay. You know, you can get like a solid job, do it. You know, but I mean, there are other people that are writers that are working. I mean, I feel like some people don't write for money. They write because, you know,
it's a passion.
It's a passion and they want to write, you know. It was my hobby. It was something that helped me heal, which is why I started writing. And then when I realized that it could do something for someone else, then I decided that, okay, let me share.
Oh. Well, viewers, I'm still talking to Akosua. we are going to take another commercial break. When we come back, Akosua is going to read to us some of her poems, and I'm so excited about that. I want to hear you read from your, I'm also excited about the fact that, at 21, I mean, how many 21-year-olds write books?
I've heard that a lot.
Yes, that's very impressive. And so, viewers, quick commercial break. We will be right back, pardon me, and we will listen to Akosua read to us from Outburst. Stay with us.